They're in a club no one wants to join. Parents who have lost a son or daughter to gun violence whose cases are unsolved.
And though they remain unsolved, investigators believe those responsible could be brought to justice if witnesses only came forward.
In the second of two parts, KDKA lead investigator Andy Sheehan looks at one such case and the plea to those who know to do the right thing.
The death of a son or daughter is every parent's worst nightmare, a horror made only more painful when it is the result of gun violence. Families must carry on knowing their child suffered in their final moments of life, and some, like Chantal Pizarro, with the knowledge the killer walks free.
It's a part of life, being held accountable for your actions. And this is something big that someone needs to answer for. I can't hug my son. I can't talk to my son. I can't hear his voice. You know, I'm missing everything.
She is the mother of Stephen Eason, the beloved Central Catholic student who was shot and killed on what was supposed to be a night of fun with friends, a haunted hayride which drew a crowd of young people. Police say the shooting may have stemmed from an incident earlier that day, an argument between some of those young people at a gas station. Later that night, the gunman shot and wounded one young man who had been in that argument, and Stephen, who was a bystander, was fatally wounded by stray bullets. 4.5 years later, there have been no arrests.
Here we are almost 5 years later with no justice for Stephen. There are people who were there who claimed that they were Stephen's friends. Who knows exactly what happened? Who knows exactly who did it? Who won't say anything?
While county homicide detectives may have a strong idea of who the shooter is, they still lack the corroborating evidence to make an arrest and bring the matter to court, confirming the young man who was wounded and others have been less than forthcoming. You believe that people there know who the shooter was?
I do. We've had cooperation from some folks that were there, but it's been limited. We need that extra piece or pieces to get us over that goal line.
Like Stephen, those who witnessed the shooting were in high school at the time, and County Police Assistant Superintendent Vic Joseph is hopeful they have aged and matured and now may be ready to come forward. He's pleading with them to tell detectives what they witnessed and identify the man responsible.
If you knew Stephen, if you didn't know Stephen, but you were there and you saw what happened, maybe you're at that point in your life now while you're ready to tell the full story. We're asking them, to reevaluate your thoughts, reevaluate what you saw that evening, and come talk to us.
There is no statute of limitations on murder. An arrest and conviction can be had no matter how much time has passed. For Chantal, Stephen is always on her mind and in her heart, hoping that his memory will cause those who know what happened that night to do the right thing.
It seems like everyone forgot.
There was a lot of attention at the time.
Yes, it's a big outrage to everyone. But when time passes and things quiet down, it doesn't matter to everyone. Stephen doesn't matter to everyone like he matters to us.
Now, Stephen Eason is one of many unresolved cases, but investigators believe there are people out there that could bring those responsible to justice if they could find it in their conscience to give them a call. Andy Sheehan, KDKA-TV News.
Andy, thank you.